Hi, it's Miss Pretzel in the Appleton West Library, and I want to talk about a book, but we're actually an author. Her name is Ruta Sepetys. I'm pretty sure that's Lithuanian because this book, which is her new one and is a good book, she writes historical fiction. I know that's not usually exciting for a lot of people, but if you like books that will probably make you cry, she's a good author to choose from. And she also writes about parts of history that a lot of us don't know that much about. So I Must Betray You is about communist Romania. So in the news now, we're learning a little bit about Russia and what Russia used to be, the Soviet Union, and things like that. So you may be learning a little bit about this. So there were all these countries that were not part of Russia, but kind of bordered up on Russia, and they were also communist countries. So this is about communist Romania as all the other communist countries are kind of failing and falling apart. Yet Romania was kind of holding on, and just what it was like to live under communist rule. So this is called I Must Betray You. It's her new book. I was really excited when it came out. It is very good, but I'm going to be honest, she has 4 other books. So I think her first 2 books were Out of the Easy, which is historical, set in New Orleans, and Fountains of Silence, which is set in Spain during the rule of Francisco Franco, which he was a dictator. I don't know if it was communism or not necessarily, but he was a dictator in Spain. So once again, it's interesting to learn about that. But these are her breakout books and what she's best known for. But as I'm discovering, not everybody knows about her books. So Between Shades of Grey has actually been made into a movie, but the movie is called Ashes of Snow, I believe. So Between Shades of Grey is, if you like books about the Holocaust, you will probably like this book. It is not... it's about a Holocaust. Now, we say Holocaust with a capital H. Holocaust was a type of genocide. Like I said, we say it with the capital H. But genocide has happened in other places in other time periods and, even in some recent history. So this is about Lithuanian citizens after World War II when Stalin took over. Was it after World War II or during? I'm trying to remember. But Stalin was in charge of Russia. He kind of began the whole Soviet regime, and he got rid of a lot of people who he didn't like, including Lithuanian people. So the author, because of her background, she's like, I didn't know anything about this history because my family didn't talk about this stuff. So Between Shades of Grey, like I said, if you like Holocaust type thing, but this is all set in mostly in Siberia. The people from Lithuania were transferred to Siberia, and once again, the conditions were horrific and the struggle to survive was very difficult. This other book, Salt to the Sea, I think this has been optioned for movie rights, but I don't know if a movie has been made yet. This is based on a true event. We might hear about the sinking of the Titanic and the sinking of the Lusitania. Well, this is the sinking of a ship that was taking people out of Lithuania near the end of World War II, and they put way too many people on this ship, and you can kind of guess what happened by the cover. So this is based on a true story. One of the things I like about this book in particular is that it's told from the point of view of, I think, 4 or 5 different people, and a girl, a boy, an older person, younger people, things like this. So once again, this is a part of history that I hadn't heard anything about this. I'd heard of the Titanic, I'd heard of the sinking of the Lusitania because that was a big rally call to war. This was a different, and like I said, believe it was the most deadly in terms of people dying shipwreck there ever was. So, here's the thing about sometimes when you read an author's books, I read this one first, and then I read this one. I'm like, oh my goodness, these are so amazing. And then I read 2 of her other books, which I think were her first books, and I'm like, well, they're good, but so you kind of have this idea in mind. You want every book to live up to this standard. And like I said, this book I thought was really good. Here's the thing, though. Interesting thing about historical fiction is that historical fiction is based on the reader's perspective. So this is not technically historical fiction for me. It is sort of is, because I remember when all this was happening, but I don't remember. Didn't know much about Romania or Romanian history. But technically, I was alive and knew about the fall of Russia and all the things that were going on. I just didn't know much about Romania. So really, it's not historical fiction for me, but obviously for anybody who was born after this time, it is. So I hope you will come in and check out one of Ruta Sepetys' books. There's her name. We have multiple copies of this one and this one because they are so awesome. Because, like I said, if you are interested in the World War II, the Holocaust type books, especially books that will make you cry, these two are definitely going to be that type of book. So come in and I will help you get one of her books. We can interlibrary loan them if our copies are checked out, or I will help you find something else you want to read, because we want to keep everybody reading. Have a fantastic day. Bye.